Hello, and welcome to another dev stream read along for the notes that they released. This is the third dev stream recap. We're gonna go over, I'm gonna share some of my thoughts. Hopefully you guys can share some of your thoughts about what the changes were they showed. I actually got the chance to watch this change live, and this was so hype. It was so fun to like just be a part of seeing some of those changes live. I was really excited. So with that said, let me pull up the link. And for people who don't know, these Reddit threads are linked in the descriptions. So if you missed any of those streams, you can click, Dev Stream Recap 1, Dev Stream Recap 2, or the third one, which is what we're going over today. And the first and biggest change for the support system. They added WASD support. They showed like a little video of Senpai going around with WASD and kind of just working with his mouse to like aim. So huge cool new thing for all the WASD gamers. I think this is really amazing that they actually managed to bring this into the game. You'll see that they added the controller support as well. We saw Senpai move around using different skills, and while there are builds that could be a little difficult to play on controller, there are plenty of builds that you could definitely run, and I think this is really nice for a lot of people, especially some of us older people, that some builds could be a little tough on the hands. I legitimately, not jokingly, there are some builds that you want to play like 6 hours sometimes. You just get into a session and sometimes like it's just really difficult. It's really nice that they do have these kind of things in mind. That they help like everybody enjoy their game in a way that like doesn't seem like to hurt them in any way. So I think that's really awesome. They added different ways to kind of control the movement for controller and for WASD. And overall, I think this is just amazing that they managed to get this into PD2. And I know personal friends who played Diablo before that do not play Diablo anymore that might actually come back for this in PD2. So I'm just really happy that they managed to do this. I hope everybody else is very excited. This was in my opinion, the biggest part of the announcement yesterday. But of course, this doesn't do anything with changes to like patches or like in-game kind of changes. It's more like the outside experience. So here is like a small new change. This is a new art graphic for Infernal Spire for the dagger. It's made by one of the community members, Gimli. And I just want to say, some people don't really care about art changes. I am definitely not one. I love that they are adding more flair, more personalized look. I feel like that's one of the things that drew me into Diablo 2 when I was a kid, like seeing all the unique weapons. And when I saw other games, I was like, wow, this looks so generic. And every time I looked at other games, like that was usually like, wow, the art and like the music, like everything feels like not quite it. And Diablo was always on the mark. And I think this is a really nice design, like keeps it simple and it's very cool. So I thought that was pretty cool. In addition, they're adding a new tier 1 map. So 2 unique maps are added, but also a new tier 1 map. Name is to be determined. It was made again by this Gimli person. So I just want to give kudos to this community member Gimli, designing like this weapon graphic and a map, and the map looks amazing. I actually kept the video of this map. Let me see if I can pull it up. I think it's this one. Yeah, okay. So let me pull this video as we're talking. And yeah, I kept some footage, and you can see this is a pretty cool looking map. You have this little guy here, a little barbarian cooking a rabbit on the side, and the whole theme of this place is kind of like torture and all these kind of like things you see like both from like Act 1, Act 3. I thought they did a really good job kind of combining everything. Very wide hallways, which I'm a really big fan of. The whole atmosphere here is really cool. So I think this is an amazing map. I'm really glad they're adding it. I'm glad they're adding it as a tier 1 map, because it means that you know, we could start using it from the start, and I really like running tier 1 maps anyway, so I'll enjoy this one quite a bit. Senpai confirmed that the first season that a map is coming out, like if a map is new, for the duration of the season it will be with no immunities, similar to how Scobus and Demon's Road was, meaning that everybody can run this map. So I really recommend people to check this out. Like, if you see this, don't sell it, don't push it to the side, run this map a little bit. I think it looks really cool, and it also has like some shrines. I remember seeing a few shrines during the demonstration, which means it's a really good map. Having like both shrines, having really wide hallways, being relatively big, so you don't have to imbue a ton of them to run them. There's a little git bin that you can press. I will definitely press it every time. So yeah, I was really happy with how the demonstration went. I think it's a really cool map. So yeah, I really recommend checking it out when it's out. Good job, Gimli, again. Absolutely blowing it out of the park. I think that's how you guys say it. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool map. So yeah, that was really nice. Over here, the next note says several vampiric craft. These are the crafts using skulls. Are planned to be changed to include more poison length reduction, therefore giving more options when gearing up for Rathma. Now, I've been pushing this in the different streams that Senpai did. Like when he did feedback streams, I sometimes chimed in to push my little agenda. Specifically about vampiric belts. I thought they were the ones needing the most love, because there is 0 reasons ever to craft a vampiric belt right now. And if you pushed like the PLR mod on the belt, you could craft belts that in theory could have like up to 45 PLR, making really interesting like crafting choices for Rathma, which I thought would be really cool. So yeah, they actually are considering it. They haven't made any decisions. I was also pushing it on the stream for it to be belts. From what I remember, he was mainly considering chest pieces and shields. I'm pretty surprised shields is in the consideration, because shields are already very strong as crafted shields. But vampiric specifically are not very useful. So it is nice to see that crafting side of the game is getting looked at. I'm personally happy with it, as somebody who really enjoys crafting, to kind of push the boundaries of what gear could look like. For people who don't do Rathma, for the most part, this will not be used, but this can help people who want to do Rathma casually to get into Rathma without having to invest too much in order to get in or buy like new gear. So I think that's pretty cool too. Bone Prison now deals damage to enemies that attack it. I think I kept a bunch of videos of everything. Let me look up this one, just so people can see how it looks like. So wait, sorry, this is the control scheme one. I guess I should show this for people who want to see how moving with control would look like. You got like these menus in here. Whenever you got a menu up, you'll be in kind of like a cursor mode, so you'll be moving like a cursor with your stick. Otherwise, you move with your left stick, and you can aim with your right stick. There's like different schemes for it. It's really cool, the work that they did. But I actually wanted to pull the Necro using his bone wall. Yeah, okay. So he's showing it. It does returns damage to attackers. From what Senpai said, it shouldn't be changing how early game looks like. Like, it doesn't seem like it will be a big game changer early. It will need a lot of levels to be very effective. So it'll be more of something that gets added to late game. But it is very cool that they do have this kind of thing on. So I think in some scenarios, like, people kind of gave up on Bone Wall and Bone Prison, but they are pretty useful skills. And if they in bossing, for example, in Rathma or in Lucian, I think they can be used. And now them doing a little bit more extra damage could be like a nice little benefit on top of it. So I think it's nice. I don't know how effective this change will be. I hope it will be effective, but we'll just have to wait and see kind of what happens with it. Okay, so next change, you got Puzzle boxes and puzzle pieces drop rate increased by 25% in Hell. Now, people often misunderstand how percentages or percentage increases work. So when they say increase by 25%, they do not mean there is now a 25% chance to drop them. What they mean is there is maybe the percent before was 0.05%, and a quarter of that is increased. So like that's how these kind of thing work. So from like a 0.05%, it would go to 0.0625. Like that's the actual change. So these changes are very small. They're very usually they're very pointed. I think that's pretty cool especially for SSF. Like I've been kind of struggling getting puzzle boxes. Puzzle pieces are fairly common. They're not usually a problem. So I'm surprised they are going up in prices. But I mean, I think that's fine. Generally, they also are adding a map that will draw puzzle boxes. That's pretty cool. Rare items will be getting some changes made to their affixes pool. Block chances more likely to spawn on shields, enhanced defense on armors, etc. So again, this will kind of play around with how crafted and not crafted, how random drops play out for us. I think it'll be just interesting to see. I'm just waiting with this one. Like I don't have a specific thought on it. It might mean we get less good armors in terms of late game, but early game they're a little bit better. So these kind of changes might happen. I don't think they will be mind-blowing or game-breaking. And here's a big one. This is a pretty cool one. Corrupting a map has 1% chance to turn into a unique map. So in the stream, Senpai actually ran 113 of those maps, to get like one of these to actually happen. It was pretty funny to watch him struggle and show how unlucky he is. For whoever caught that, it was pretty funny. Let me kind of show how that looks like, that process. So over here you can see that he was just sending different maps in. Yeah, he was getting into his third stack. Yeah, let's speed it up. It's gonna take him a while. And 1, 2, 3. No? Oh wait, this might have been the first video of him failing to do it. One moment. No? Okay, it was the right video. Okay, yeah. He was getting tired. Wow, it took more than I remembered. It took 119, not 13. So yeah, this shows Outer Voids. That's the name of the new map, but it's actually the stats of Zara Sanctum. But as you can see, he was just slamming maps, and there was a chance of 1%, so 1 out of 100 will turn into a unique map. I think generally this is pretty cool. This will kind of, encourage people to slam maps. Not necessarily rely on other people to slam maps for them, or to run only group maps and just not map in private. So that is one nice thing. The second thing is that it encourages people who run and kind of rewards people who run group maps, because they get to keep some unique maps while slamming. So that's another nice benefit to them. So I am like running maps for other people, but I'm also getting to keep some unique maps. I think that's also a really cool side of this effect. But also for people who play mostly single player, this will kind of make sure that they do see some unique maps, and unique maps seem to be like a big part of the next patch. So I'm really happy with this change. Also and I just want to point this out, for single player people, this will just in general, since you slam all of your maps and you slam a lot of maps, I slam like 50 plus maps a day sometimes, or like run 50 plus maps a day. This kind of encourages you to slam your own maps and get like some unique maps in the process, which is really, really cool. In my opinion, really cool change. Again, not mind-breaking. Some people pointed out that sometimes you don't want your maps to change into unique map, and for that I say corrupting stuff can make them better or worse. That's like the nature of corrupting, so I think that's okay if you break like a good map into a unique map you didn't want, but generally unique maps are good to have, so I think that's a good thing. Primeval Soul drop rate will be increased from Diablo and Bale. From what Senpai said, numbers and things are not fully closed out on this one, so he didn't really decide yet. He just wants a little bit more pests. The change last season, in my opinion, was slightly felt. There was a little bit more pests. The market, by the way, did not change. For the record, from season 9 to season 10, it wasn't like pest drop rate changed how people sell pests. It was about the same. So for all the people who were doomsaying about like, oh, now bossing is gonna be free or all these things, there's no need to say these stuff. You can just play the game and have fun. Not every small change will cause like a whole like storm in the market. Usually the market just does whatever it does, regardless of the changes, because people don't even read the patch notes for the most part. They just play the game, so don't worry about it. I think that's fine. For single player people, again, big win. I view this entire patch as somebody who's been playing on Pluggy and like in single player for so long now. I view this patch as like a whole SSFW. It's like my whole perspective changed, but it is like a nice thing. And another small change for single player people, you can now enable regenerate levels on single player to have your maps randomized to rejoin instead of being static. This is more like to simulate the experience of online. You don't have to change difficulties in order to change your map layout. You can just have a setting that says regenerate levels. I think that's cool. I think that's a good thing to have that option to simulate online. Generally, I like that my maps are static, but you know, some people would like to have it changed, so that's cool. Zeri's Resolve, a relatively unused item before, had its level 25 to 30 Holy Shock aura when equipped removed, so you used to have that Holy Shock aura, it's gone. Joust cooldown reduced by 1.5, so that was added. It had Joust before, but now it has cooldown reduced, so it's kind of like Alma Negra, where it lets you use Joust pretty fast. You have +2 passive and magic Amazon increased to 3, so you have one more passive and magic skills. Since this is a Joust pike, it means your summons will teleport with you, so it is kind of cool to have kind of like summon pikes on. We know the Jab and Fend are being upgraded as well. Jab and Fend generally leave you with a bunch of skill points, so there could definitely be a hybrid build with this. +2 to Joust goes to 6 to 8 to Joust, which is much better in that sense. +20 to energy removed, so the kind of random stat removed from it, and 30 to 45 lightning resist increased to 40 to 60, so increased by 10% ish, 10 to 15%. I don't know if you need that much lightning resist, but it is there now. And magic damage taken reduced by 12 to 15, changed to 14 static. I don't think that's like a very big change. That's not like a huge thing. What is this enough to make this item viable and strong? Well, I will say playing Amazon, like having more movement, is definitely relevant. Playing like a Jab Zone or a Fend Zone, which I assume this is what it's going to be used for. Playing it with a like low cooldown Joust may be something that makes it very strong. Having like the extra passives to be kind of like tanks for you might be relevant. So I'm still waiting to see and test. This is one of the builds I'm interested in testing during like the week of the beta. Testing just to see how different Jab is, how the breakpoint looks like. Can we go around and map with this? So this is an item I'll definitely have on my radar. A lower cooldown Joust is definitely something you want to keep an eye out. Like that's definitely, we know Alma Negra Sacrifice was super popular and was popular for a reason. It was clearing very fast. It had like great mobility. And I think this could be, you know, the same type of item for Amazon. But we'll just have to see how viable Jab and Fend is. And we'll just find out during the beta. But I'm kind of excited for this kind of change. It says the demonic cube has been added. So for everybody who's been wondering what is the red box, what's in the box, man, tell us what's in the box. Everybody was pestering Senpai, and he ended up revealing the big cube. This item rerolls the stat ranges of unique or set items while maintaining the socket amount. So this is kind of like the divine orbs from PoE. I did not play PoE. Somebody just said that on the stream, so I'm repeating what they said. I don't know what happens in PoE yet. So cube with a unique or set item to reroll the stat ranges. Okay, sorry, that's the next note. Really cool item. I think this will be. They said the drop rate will be about the same as Zod, even though it's not decided yet. But expect that kind of like a range of drops. So you're not going to see a lot of those, but you're going to see some of them. They're going to be relatively expensive. And they're going to be mostly used for items that are extremely rare. They have very important roles to kind of land on them. So it could be for getting the good minus resist on Mang Song. It could be for getting free skills and good minus resist on a D-Web. Some people will say they would use it for an ethereal grandfather or other ethereal weapons that are extremely rare to get like the right thing on them. Before people ask, this will not be used for crafts or rares for two reasons. One, because you can't, and two, because that would basically mean that you re-roll the entire thing. The way this will work is that it will re-roll things that are inherent to the item. On the stream, people ask some good questions like, will this re-roll Ormus skill? So the random skill that you get with Ormus, will this be rerolled? The answer at the moment is yes, but it may change. If it does reroll the skill, there's just no reason to use it on Ormus because you don't want to waste like a Zod rune to change skill to a random skill on an Ormus. But there's all sorts of decisions like that were not made yet, but they will be made in the future. We'll see how this works. I like this kind of item. I'm very happy with the approach that Senpai is taking. He said on the stream, like, he wants to keep it relatively rare. He doesn't want this to be like part of like every item that I'm getting, I want to first cube it to make sure it's good, and then I want to box it, and then I want to slam it. Like, he wants this to be like a only saved for amazing items kind of thing. And something important about the demonic cube is that you have to use it before you slam the item. You can slam it, you can cube it or demonic cube it. We need to find a way to say this. You can demonic it before you slam. You can do it after you add sockets. You can box something, then still cube it. So for example, if you grab like let's take the example of a D-Web, you can box it for 2 sockets, and if it gets 2 sockets, you can use a demonic cube on it till it gets the right stats that you want it to have. And once it has the right stats, you can then slam it. And remember, you can break a demonic cubed item, which is really cool. I like that they're adding it in that way. It's still like a high risk, high reward kind of thing, a lot of investment, and I think it will make like, you know, the highlights of like, I invested so much into this item, I wanted to slam right. So I really like it. I like that it's not like a common item that you run all the time. So I like the approach generally. I'm really happy with it. Next note say plans to add magic only affixes, which are the same as regular map affixes but with higher values. So that's kind of interesting, finally giving magic maps kind of a point. So he said like they might have only like 1 or 2 affixes, but it'll be like a ton of density, or it could be like a ton of like faster hero recovery, or you know, just trying to play around with magic affixes so they're like interesting or useful to people. I think that's a good thing. If magic maps are going to stay in the game, might as well add something to them. So I kind of like this. Treasure Fallens will now drop infused orbs instead of regular orbs. He didn't really display this on the stream, but basically infused orbs means that you don't have to add like gems and runes and jewels to them. They're just coming infused, which is really nice. It makes like the whole dropping annoying orbs that you don't really want a little bit better. So I'm generally in favor of this. A Treasure Fallen feels for the most part like a bad event for most people, so that's definitely an improvement. Zar Sanctum mini bosses will now have 50% chance to drop a skill charm. Pretty big change for Zar Sanctum. Already was a really good map to run, especially early season. I think the stonks on Zar Sanctum are going up. I think that's a huge change, especially early on. Getting like up to 4 skillers from the bosses and the mini bosses is pretty huge. They added a new item, Sacred Totem, and for those who are sharp know that this is Rakanishu's head. The bastards killed him. This kind of more like a flavor type of item. I don't think this will see much serious play. Some memer is definitely going to use it though. 66% chance to cast level 50 charged bolt when struck, so obviously you're light enchanted just like Rakanishu. 2 to necro levels, free to lower resist, free to amplify damage, may summon 4 additional revives, lightning resist 45, and 2 reanimate fallen shaman, 2% to 2 to 3% to reanimate as fallen shamans, 4 to 6% to reanimate as fallen. You're basically gonna create your own little fallen horde as Rakanishu. That's the idea behind this item. It's like it's a like flavor type of item. It was really nice to see. They kind of disappeared a change that I'm going to share with you guys, so people who watch this enjoy more. So let me just pull it out. Yeah, so something that kind of slipped on the stream, it was kind of like unintended showing. Shaco is getting buffed by 1 PDR. It will be 4 to 6 PDR. Senpai slipped this one unintentionally, I think. So really nice to see for all the Shaco enjoyers. It's just 1 PDR, it's not like a huge change, but we'll make, like, it's used in bossing sometimes, it's used sometimes for other stuff. It's like super common item. Just tuning it like so people like to use it a little bit more. We saw Andy got a little love, and like other items are seeing a lot of use, so getting more nice things on the Shaco is always nice. He also demonstrated the demonic cube here. It just kind of shows how it works. Cubed went from 4 PDR to 5 PDR. MF changed from 45 to 43, I think. So that's how a demonic cube will work. And yeah, that's generally the changes that they had on the stream. And yeah, they were pretty awesome. It was pretty fun dev stream to watch, in my opinion. I really enjoyed following. There is only one more dev stream from now on. There will be only one more dev stream on the next Saturday before the beta. Oh, something else, they actually forgot to include it. Oh, it's so nice that I actually kept like all the footage, because apparently the threads missed some stuff. Not staff actually got buffed, got 2 more plus skills. In total, the Notch set is going to have the same amount of total skills, but for people who are just using Nice Puzzler, and by the way, you should use Nice Puzzler because it gives 1 to blink 50 FCR early on, which is really good. So for people who were using this, like me, really big fan of the change. It makes a Nice Puzzler really nice early on. Plus 3 skills is really not nothing. A lot of people use this on their swap, and you can now buff yourself for when you're like doing your buffs, and have like a blink stick on your swap. So I think that's really cool. I'm pretty happy with this change. Nice is a great item, and I want to see more people use it. So it's another little change they made. So here, all of my viewers get to enjoy all the information. Next week is going to be the last dev stream before the beta. You can already, if you guys want to, drop like comments, ideas, thoughts, things you'd like to see, things you think about the changes they made. Let me know who's excited for the WASD and the controller support. I know some of my friends already are excited for it. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this little video. If you enjoyed it, drop a little like and subscribe. It really supports the channel and really helps help us grow and help me make more content for you guys. And yeah, if you're also interested in seeing some stuff during the beta, things you want to see tested, things you're kind of speculating about but might not have time to test yourself, start dropping them in the comments, because I'm going to be collecting all those and compiling a list of things that I will test for the YouTube crowd and the Twitch crowd. With that said, I hope you have a good whatever you're having, and I'll see you around on the next stream or in the next video. Bye.